Several members of Donald Trump's new ethics team have now been revealed. If you don't remember this, it came about as a result of Trump's first press conference of this year, where he announced that to avoid some of the rampant conflicts of interest that come when you are invested in literally hundreds of companies and you become president, he was going to have these sort of independent advisors and lawyers who are going to look at things, figure out which deals are okay and which aren't. Well, now we have a preview of what some of those are going to look like. Bobby Burchfield, who's a partner in the Washington office of King Spalding, also represented George W. Bush in the 2000 Florida recount, will be an independent ethics advisor. Burchfield is currently chairman of Crossroads GPS, the secret money Republican advocacy group started by Karl Rove, and thus a man of unimpeachable moral fiber.
So let's break that down. Look, so he's a Republican lawyer. I actually don't have a problem with that. The other nominees for the post were people like Michael Mukasey, who was the Attorney General for George W. Bush as well. And of course he's going to pick a Republican, okay? So fair is fair. Now, on the other hand, this guy fought against McCain-Feingold and literally went to court to destroy any kind of check on whether politicians could get crooked money to help them win their elections. Now, that's my interpretation of it. I know that the Koch brothers and all the billionaires and multinational corporations view their bribery as a freedom of speech issue. They would just like to talk to our politicians with their millions of dollars. Anyway, this guy, of course, supported that. Institutional corruption defined, I thought we were going to drain the swamp, and he's in charge of ethics.
Yeah.
Okay, but even more important than that is the specific thing that John mentioned there at the end. He was a chairman of Crossroads GPS, which is a super PAC designed to get dark money into politicians' hands. It's like one of the most corrupt things in the country.
Yeah.
Right? When those super PACs say, okay, I will take money that you don't even know where it's coming from, and then I'll funnel it to the politicians, and those politicians will do favors for people you'll never even find out. That's what this guy was in charge of, like the most unethical thing there is. Not according to me, according to the American population. When you ask them about the super PACs, they hate the super PACs.
Yeah.
When you ask them about dark money, it is deeply unpopular. That's our new ethics guy.
Independent ethics guy.
But it gets worse. I think the second
we have
guy is
another.
worse.
George Sorial, a lawyer for the Trump Organization since 2007, will become chief compliance counsel. Sorial's work for Trump included his for-profit education company, Trump University, that recently paid $25 million to settle fraud accusations. Sorial threatened to sue the Better Business Bureau over its C- rating.
I thought it was D-.
I think it ended up lower. It was A+, believe me. And so he's going to become the compliance counsel.
Okay, so
independent ethics.
This is the guy who was the lawyer that defended the biggest scam Trump ran. I mean, that's like saying, oh, you would like someone who's going to be in charge of ethics. Oh, let me go ask my lawyer for Trump University. Okay. And, you'd like for him to be independent. Let me ask my lawyer for Trump University. And just to rub it in a little more, because it wasn't enough that Mnuchin used to work for George Soros, because they love to do the opposite of what they promised.
Yeah.
The guy's name even sounds like George Soros. George Sorio.
You're not being fair. George Soros, I looked it up, he studied ethics. Unfortunately, he studied at Trump University. It's probably not worth a damn.
Did he get a C- on it?
I don't know. He gave great reviews to his teacher, though, because they were forced to.
Believe me.
Now we have a quote from Fred Wertheimer of Democracy 21, a government watchdog. It's not in the government, but it does watchdog stuff for the government, of the government, I should say. It says, I don't know what makes Burchfield qualified for that job, but in my experience, he certainly does not have a track record for promoting ethical standards and rules. From what I know of his experience in this field, he does not fit the definition of an ethics advisor.
Right.
Except that we now live in topsy-turvy world, the upside down.
Yeah. So Wertheimer is a person who lives in Washington and is part of the Washington culture. So he's nobody's radical change guy, right? He's
doesn't chain himself to trees.
He's like nice and easy, just a little bit of change, right? And even Wertheimer's like, whoa, that's crazy. That's your lawyer for Trump University.
Yeah.
You can't call him independent, and you certainly can't say that he should be the one in charge of ethics. Well, whether he can or not, he just did it.
Now, what's interesting is we have this new ethics team coming in to try to avoid some conflicts of interest. And we're reassured that he had that big stack of papers, if you recall, at the press conference that nobody was allowed to look at, that proved that they were not going to have these conflicts of interest. Well, there was follow-up studies showed that they hadn't filed any of the lawsuit to remove him from certain companies that they said they would. Then after that news came out, they hurriedly filed those lawsuits. We've got some other news we're going to talk about, but JR found an interesting panel that the CEO of Trump Hotels was on with some interesting quotes about what they think is going to go down under the Trump administration. His first quote is talking about the Trump Hotel organization. Says, this is Eric Danziger, there are 26 major metropolitan areas in the U.S., and we're in 5. I don't see any reason that we couldn't be in all of them eventually, which is probably true. I mean, that's a massive expansion, but he's got high hopes. But it gets worse. Now, this is back before the November 8th election. Danziger told media in Hong Kong that the company had plans for hotels in China, which you might recall Trump has attacked multiple times, including the fact that they came up with the hoax that is climate change. Danziger said that's pretty much off, drawing laughter from the audience. Danziger apparently at least understands that there is a relationship between Trump's business prospects and his actions as president. But he also said this, and this is not before, this is at the panel that just happened, talking about Trump Hotels and the new Scion brand that drops the Trump name because it's going to be toxic to customers soon. Both brands and any others we create will have a domestic emphasis for the next 4 or 8 years. So why is it that they would be focusing on domestic business for 4 or maybe 8 years? Strange.
So Trump says, don't worry, man, I got it in a blind trust. My kids are running it. Again, not remotely a blind trust. Now, they just announced that they're going to go in 21 new cities. It's not like Trump didn't hear it. So I'm pretty sure he knows where his financial interests lie. If I know it, I think he knows it. So conflicts of interest and all that, gone. They don't care at all. So, and look, I keep coming back to this. If you're a Trump voter, are you happy about this? I mean, I know that you like to excuse things and be like, oh yeah, he got away with it. But wait, why are you happy that he got away with it? I thought you wanted to drain the swamp. I thought you hated crooked Hillary because she was serving herself by giving those speeches at Goldman Sachs. And I agreed with you on that, right? Now, when Trump serves himself, why are you happy about that? Like, I don't know if you know this, he's not going to share the money with you. You can help build independent media. We're now doing fundraising to get 4 new investigative reporting teams out there and be the watchers on the wall. We're not going to let Trump get away with anything. We're not going to let the establishment get away with anything. You help us build it. TYTnetwork.com/go. Be part of the solution.